Hey y'all, this video is going to be a little bit quicker. I'm be honest, I'm a bit burnt out from Deepwoken right now, but obviously that doesn't mean I'm going to stop posting deep content because I still love y'all. But today, something I want to talk about was the BLOODWEAVER attunement or oath, and I'm pretty sure they're going to go with oath because they talked about it in the Discord server. There obviously is no guarantee that it will be an oath, but I'm pretty sure they're going to do an oath because Chaser's magic is an oath, so yeah. Anyways, you know how each oath has their own class, right? Like Silent Heart's a glass cannon, Arcwater is more of a defensive, and Jet Striker can be considered like a rushdown type of character, right? Well, I have a high feeling that the Blood Oath is going to be more of a zoner. I mean, just look at Chaser's attacks. I mean, one of them is a ranged projectile and the other one just pulls you in. So it makes sense that this oath could be used to catch a lot of people like running away, especially in ganks where people seem to not really like that aspect of the combat. And obviously for the first move, since the Deepwoken devs are huge geeks, we're probably gonna see the piercing blood from the most recent episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. It is basically a laser beam of blood that takes a lot of blood from the user, and it's just good for pressure. And I could totally see this having a very short cooldown and a very quick windup. But the cost would be that it is very easy to predict and very easy to parry, only really catching people that are not really paying attention. The one thing I think would be interesting about this mantra is that the longer you're hitting it on someone, the larger the beam would get and the more damage the beam would do. And depending on how long the beam has been out, the cooldown would just gradually increase. But the beam wouldn't be auto-aimed. You'd have to aim it with your cursor or aim it at the ground, and then it would ricochet towards the person. All in all, I think this mantra would be pretty damn balanced. I mean, it's only good for really catching players that are just not paying attention, which you'd be surprised, there's a lot of them. Next, I have an idea for a more defensive yet also offensive mantra. It would basically be a blood shield, but one that you can place down. For example, if you've ever played Overwatch, it would be very similar to how Sigma's shield looks like. It would have a medium cooldown and a semi-long windup. But the idea is that it completely nullifies guns. Regardless of which side you're on, the gun projectile will not go through, and if you're on the attacker's side, the gun projectile will simply ricochet back towards you. But the catch here is with mantras. If you're on the defending side, your mantras will go through and attack, but they'll also gain a slight bit of damage, maybe a 5% or 10% increase. And if you're on the opposing side, your mantras will break the barrier very quickly. I forgot to mention this, but this specifically applies to ranged mantras, so that laser beam of blood I was talking about, or something like fire gun. Obviously, this mantra is very powerful if used in the right hands, but it can be very easily countered with any ranged mantra. And if you don't have mantras, you could always just walk through it and that would destroy it as well. And finally, we have the main damage dealer, or the main blood taker, which is very similar to Judgment. Basically a very long range mantra that you can use anywhere. Very predictable windup that you can hear, but it spawns a spike under the player, and when hit, the player will not take damage, but instead take bleed damage. More so, their blood will be sucked out of them. And similar to Judgment, when their blood is low enough, they will instantly get gripped, or knocked. And since they are stunned and can't move during the mantra, they will not be able to get attacked or anything by you or anyone else. However, to make it differ from Judgment, the mantra does not actually stun the person using it. Instead, it will spawn a floor of spikes similar to Etheron's floor spikes. And during that duration, the player can attack and everything, but as soon as they get hit, then they are stunned. But yeah, that's about everything I could think up for this oath. And if you want anything else, let me know in the comments. I made some talents as well, they'll probably show up on the screen. Anyways, thanks for watching guys, and as always, have a good day.